Some may argue that buying a used UDR will save you money. It's a bold claim. Let me show you why it's risky to think so. I bought a used UDR, tore it down to the bare chassis, refreshed every mechanical part as required, and tracked every single cost. In this video, you'll know exactly what I paid, what needed replacing, and if it actually saves money, or if you're better off buying a new one. By the end of this video, you'll know the real price difference, the hidden costs nobody talks about, and which option actually gives you the best value for your money. No opinions, just data from the full rebuild. Here is the used UDR I picked up. I paid $450 for it, but that number doesn't mean anything until we see what's actually wrong inside. On the surface, it looks very scruffy. I spent a full 6S battery pack to get a feel for how it drives, which was an interesting experience in itself. It was all over the place. The suspension was useless all around, bottoming out under acceleration. The driveline was very loud with intense clicking and it just felt gritty. Things got really interesting as soon as I got it on the bench. The front drive shafts and cups were toast, all 8 shock absorbers seemed to be losing oil, and the rear diff has definitely seen better days. The rear diff is definitely looking super scruffy. It is highly exposed to the elements. Next up, the electronics, like the lighting system, is coming off. Just cutting all the zip ties and taking it off. It was flickering a bit, so I'll redesign that later on down the line. The floorboard is coming off as well, and the front skid plate, this is extremely worn as well, not a surprise there. They are also highly exposed elements. The innards revealed to be in okay state, I'll say. Front suspension arms are in pitiful state as well. They're definitely going to be replaced, no question about it. The shock absorbers have all lost a bit of oil, so they're definitely going to be rebuilt. And the front diff is showing excessive signs of wear. It's quite alarming. I'll show you in just a minute. Then off with the motor and center diff assembly. Then you're basically left with the roll cage and the ESC and receiver. The receiver box was missing the cap on it, so that needs to be replaced. It doesn't come as a single part. Yeah, not a surprise. This is from a truck that did look scruffy from the outside. I didn't actually see it. I bought it unseen. By the time I had the chassis stripped down, the table looked like a crime scene, and trust me, the cost of these parts was adding up fast. Let me show you exactly what needed replacing. And there we have it. Down to a bare chassis, a bare UDR chassis. It'll be the good starting point for a rebuild. Full of new parts here. Got some screws for the body. Got some rear links. Some tie rods. Got the front skid plate. Very nice. 1, 2, 3, 4. To overhaul the shock absorbers, we have a suspension arm lower left. There should be the lower right somewhere. Yep, there it is. Does this thing come with screws? No, it doesn't. Come on, Traxxas. That's kind of cheap, right? Front bumper. This is for the front suspension. The receiver box, well, there you go. All I need is this part, but you get the whole bloody thing with a little tube of marine grease, which is nice. Some new Nerf bars, sway bars, and there should be, oh, I'm missing something. GPM racing product, stainless steel. It says steering tie rods, but it's not. It's the front drive shafts. Hardened steel, more like. The drive cups and a set of decals, why not? Like it. Hooker. Oh, what's this? Where did this come from? This appeared out of nowhere. Let's take a look. This actually looks in good condition. Take this whole drivetrain part out. I'm just looking for where it would justify the replacement of the parts. So that means that the tolerance in between them has to be like within certain like reasonable limits. But the bearing's running dry. And then this planetary gear thing is running quite dry. Like you can see a bit of wear on the teeth, but it's fairly normal. So we were saying 1 million fluid, which isn't very fluid when you look at it this way. But that's what we're going to use. Nice. Okay, good stuff. Which goes where? Can't remember. Nice. Beautiful. This feels nice and creamy. I like it. Nice. So that's the transfer box done. Next item to be serviced is the front end. So we have the whole front end here with part of the steering and the differential, the front diff, which appears to be leaking, and these cups definitely need to be replaced. The servo saver here works, but these bearings are sounding quite crunchy now. There's some bearings here. This seems to be full of grease, way too much, and that's why it was seeping out. These bearings obviously are quite exposed as well. The cups here are completely knackered. Just look at that. All that stuff floating was inside the bearings. Look at all the grease that is in there. It serves no purpose to cake that stuff in grease. Look, all of this grease is not getting used. You know that video game Detroit Becomes Human? It's like the blood of the replicants or whatever they're called. So I've just opened the front differential and I have made an interesting discovery. It is filled with that same blue grease. Why? Out you come. There we go, just as a hole. There you go. Okay, well, there is a little bit more wear than on the center diff. That is for sure. But it's still quite okay. I'll say. Looks good. And there we go. Front diff has been completely reconditioned. Oh yeah, that's nice. It allows for differential action, but it's not going to lock it up. So that's good. That is really good. Okay, good stuff. That's it. No extra parts. This feels wonderful. Slap these bearings back in. Nice. Oh yeah, that is like brand new. This UDR, man, this build is epic. Whoever is going to get this thing is going to like have like a new UDR, like for the fraction of the price. Nice. Look at that. Okay, well, that is the front end done and dusted. Oop, shit. Get my little chassis stand. There we go. This thing looks like a pen, but it's not a pen. This is actually a miniature oiler. So I put something very fine like sewing machine oil. Keep your balls oiled. Ah yes, do not forget to place the transmission here. That could be very easily forgotten. So then you'd button everything up and then you'd realize that you have this sucker on the bench. That would really suck. There we go, this needs to be lined up as well. Yes. So the front end is back on. We are making really good progress here, guys. I'm really happy about that. Isn't that beautiful? I'll take a picture for Instagram. Dabber robot jizz. That must be why this stuff is so expensive, man. It's so difficult to get a robot to jizz. Now there's one thing that I wanted to do as well. This chassis bears the letters RCWB 001. This is the first one. You have to take pride in your work, man. And so I do. The guy who gets this thing is going to know for sure when he opens a battery tray that that this is it. This is the one. Nice. Okay, so now we have what looks like a Traxxas UDR chassis. Ugh. There we go. Nice and tight, that diff. I like it. Picked this up second hand, actually. Comes with the Traxxas Link Bluetooth module in it, so that was like a good deal. Nope. Nice. Disconnect the batteries, and so this is good. This is all linked. I'm happy with that. Okay, so the electronics are in. That's fine. Chapter closed. So this is going to break sometime soon. Just have to replace these two as a set. Part 8, 5, 7, 9. Fresh gears. Slap this thing back on. Chuck that in there. Chuck that in there. Rear axle is done and dusted. I'm gonna go ahead and just slap this back onto the car. Now I could geek out for hours on the shock absorbers because there's so much to talk about all viscosities, about choosing the right damper discs, so on and so forth. I won't bore you with that right now. I produced another video, like a deep dive technical video for the tech nerds out there. So make sure you check it out in the playlist, it'll be in there. I'll take this opportunity as well to thank my patrons. It's a lot of fun creating content for you guys, so thanks again. There you go. Nice. This build didn't necessarily need new light system, but I thought that it would look really cool. This is the opportunity to make something a little different. Another exciting part is to paint the body. I could not leave the old broken body after having put in so many hours and invested so much into refurbishing this UDR. Instead of buying just a standard body, I think I'd go wild and make my own design. Now this alone is enough to make another whole video about it. So stay tuned if you want to learn how to paint an RC car body. But this is how it turned out. I think it's pretty spectacular. The outcome is insane. The outcome is wild. It is a very sexy body. Whoever gets to own this UDR, whoever wins it in the raffle is going to really enjoy it. It's got a unique chassis number. It's got a unique paint job. It is in as new condition. So you guys are going to love it. Make sure you check out the link in the description because you don't want to miss this chance. All right, moment of truth. Let's talk about what this rebuild actually cost. The used UDR set me back 450 bucks. I spent 125 on the used TQI radio system. In total, spare parts including shipping was $848. Now, a new UDR out the box in Europe has a price tag of $970. I spent for this rebuild $1,423. Yep, I spent 450 bucks more than the price of a new one out the box. I didn't do it to save money, I did it for the experiment and to take you along for the ride with me. Speaking of rides, this very UDR is part of a raffle that I'm running right now. It's my way of putting this amazing RC car into your hands. Hopefully, it's also a way that will help me to break even on this experiment. It did burn quite a big hole in my pocket. Live and learn. So if you want to support projects like these, or just jump into the raffle, the links are in the description below. Check out the deep dive video that's coming up next. It contains all the details that I was not able to put into this video about dismantling this thing, seeing what went wrong, and how to properly service your UDR. Every single sub-assembly is covered. It contains a wealth of information that you will find very useful, I'm sure. And if you want to shape the next rebuild or just support the madness, you'll find me on Patreon. I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for watching.